Welcome back, you guys. I'm so excited. You guys know how much I love Luann de Lesseps, Countess, that is. Countess and Friends cabaret shows. Dates and tickets at CountessLuann.com. It is sweeping the country. I'm so happy for her. Hi, Luann.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
You too. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just having the best time doing what I love and having so much fun. You know, for me, it's like you're my friend. You're in my living room, and I'm singing to you. I'm telling you jokes, and just having a good time, making you feel welcome. You know?
mean, don't you feel so lucky when you get to do what you love?
I do.
Right?
I feel so fortunate and humbled.
I got to tell you too. My friends have gone and seen some shows, and
Have they?
they're like, "You have to go.
You got to come.
Like,
You'll have the best time."
I know. Have you
It's
gone
really
Chicago?
fun.
Have you done Chicago yet?
Oh yeah, I've done the Chicago Theater.
Holy shit! You did the Chicago
4,000
Theater?
people. Yeah, sold
Holy
out. It was
shit.
packed to the gills. I've got Billy Stritch, you know, he worked with Liza for 25 years. So Billy said to the audience in the Chicago Theater, Luann, you got a standing ovation for 2 minutes. He said, I've never seen anything like that.
I'm so happy for you.
It gives me so much joy, and you know the fans just love the show, and even people that don't watch Housewives come to the show,
Of course.
and they love it. So it's entertaining. It's like it's like going to Carol Burnett. It's like old school showbiz,
Right.
You know,
Like variety.
totally.
Oh, I'm
totally.
so fucking happy for you. I'll ask you more questions about a
Sure.
little bit. I have to ask you though, because watching you, I keep looking at you going, "Oh my God!" In your Halloween costume, dressed as a cougar, your body looks unbelievable. You've never looked better. What
Thank
are you
you.
doing besides yoga? How often do you do it? And what
Yeah.
are you eating? Are you chewing?
Yeah, sure. I'm doing, I started to do a little bit of intermittent fasting and not eating during that window of like
Is
8
it 12
hours.
or 16?
It's like 16, but I'm closer to 14. But even that has helped, and I just try not to eat late. And try to
people
eat
say
later
they
in the
just do
morning.
that and it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. It really does. And, yoga and just, I try to get to the gym just to keep my arms turned. I got to wear Giovanni dresses, honey. So, gravity is killing me here.
I've noticed this. I woke up and I'm like, okay, I'm turning 47 this week. And I'm like, the muscle
happy
tone
birthday.
is going away. Thank you very much.
No, it's, it's just, you got to, keep up with a little bit of weights just to keep the muscle tone.
You do.
And, Campbell's soup cans even, whatever.
You're right. I do keep 2-3 pounds by my bed.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching TV, I literally am flapping my arms with weights just to just do anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than doing nothing.
Keep
for
it
sure.
hard, ladies. Keep it hard. Speaking of being a cougar, did you pick up anybody? I heard that are you with your ex right now?
Well, people are saying he's my ex. He's always been there for me. He's
it's like a friend.
He's my agent. Totally did not want that to happen because how crazy is that? But, some of the most successful love stories happens with your agent. So,
of course.
So he's just been a rock for me. I've been through a lot of shit in the last couple of years. I'm finally through it, by the way. All your free Countess t-shirts helped a lot.
I'm glad.
Free Luann.
I wore one.
People actually made free Luann t-shirts.
I wore one.
I know. Oh, my God. You
Yes,
did. You got to send me a picture.
I did.
That,
I
did
have
you?
it. It's online.
Did you? Oh, my God.
yeah.
I have to find that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We have to find that,
So you're
peeps.
officially free.
I am officially free. I'm done. It's behind me. And it's just so great to have gotten through, the toughest thing in my life and to be moving on. And
what's so great about your man, too? He knows your past. You don't have to sit down and be like, hey, listen, this is what my life's like.
Oh, no. He knows he knows everything about my past. He was there for me. He was a rock for me. And he's the best agent in Hollywood in terms of managing my career, because it's such a specialty act.
Right.
And actually I got introduced to him through Richard J. Alexander, who's the manager of Barbra Streisand, who came to see my show, and he said, girlfriend, I need to find you an agent. And he found me Rich Super.
It's amazing. Hopefully he's super rich.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. You're going to make me super. I'm hoping.
Hopefully
he's doing it. He's
right?
doing it. Yeah.
Good for you. You seem to be attracting all the right players in your life. It's
yeah, you know what? My energy's really good. Putting this behind me and moving forward and having a cabaret show with Live Nation that's on tour is just better than I could ever hoped for. And
so do you need the Housewives anymore?
Well, listen, the Housewives, this is season 12 we're working on now. and it's just hard to believe. And you know, my fans that come to the shows, you know, that watch the show. But like I said, you know, people that don't even know the show come to my show and they have a great time. So I just, you know, for the moment, I'm staying on the show.
Good.
And
you are a staple of the show. I mean, I think they're one of the people that I think people rooted for most of the time because
I was always getting into trouble.
You were always getting beat up.
I know. I've had great seasons. This season is a great one for me.
Good.
It's really about the resurrection. I mean, and just from going through what I went through and getting to where I got on the cabaret stage and pulling myself up by my bootstraps. And so a lot of women come to the show and they're just inspired, you know, and I'm for me to inspire anybody is reason for me to get out there and get up on the stage.
Resurrection and Giovanni.
Right, those two go hand in hand.
They do. I kind of like that could be the follow-up song to
it.
Those
dresses are just amazing.
Trust me,
I have so much fun.
Giovanni from Masked Singer. Get me some Giovanni. I got to ask you. I have to dive into Bethenny leaving.
Yes.
What was that initial time you heard it? What was that feeling? You thought, yay? You thought what?
I was shocked. I was, surprised and I was, surprised and not surprised in a way because I think that, she, is in a relationship that I don't think she wants to bring around on the show, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that, Bethenny is, I always say she's a lot of fun. She can be really nasty. She's very funny, and those are the people, you kind of get up for in the morning because they challenge you. So in a weird way, I always held my own with Bethenny.
You did.
Her and I have always had this, up and down kind of relationship.
You managed that very well.
And, and she's not an easy person to manage. And I just feel like that part I'll kind of miss because it's kind of, it's challenging. And
you found the fun in it.
And I found kind of fun in it. And, listen, I'll miss her. But at the same time, it's when you're around her, it's like walking on eggshells. I mean, how do you feel? You know, Bethenny.
I mean, I would feel relieved as hell if I was a cast member. I would be like, oh my God. Because there, it's a kind of like walking into, in your childhood, if someone was explaining, like, I never know what kind of mood my dad's going to be in or my mom's going to be in.
Right.
So you're walking on eggshells.
Right.
I don't personally like to live in those types of environments.
Right.
It's unhealthy. It's
yes.
Like up and down, up and down. So that's why I'm like, there has to be a little bit
right.
of
relief. I think the whole cast is relieved in a way, and it also leaves breathing room for other women to shine and show their personalities.
Exactly.
Because a lot was, Bethenny coming in and kind of stealing the show.
Right.
But guess what? She can't steal our show.
No.
The show this season is amazing.
I'm so glad.
And, I can't wait for everyone to see the new season.
It survives without Bethenny.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? It's better than ever. So I'm excited. Our new housewife is really great. I can't really talk much about her except that she's a great addition to the cast. She's got, story. She's got backstory. She's an interesting woman. She's smart. She's successful.
I heard that. And, I remember when Heather, what's her name? I'm forgetting her name. She said that when she was on the Housewives, it was a really difficult place to be accepted. Did you?
Well, I think it's not easy coming into a group of women like the Housewives being new, and and she's also younger, and I think that it's not easy. So you got to have balls.
You got to have balls. Speaking of balls, who do you think has the best chances of being the alpha now?
Well, I mean, listen, Dorinda's a very strong character. Her and I are in a good place, so that's good.
Good.
Yeah, and it just leaves room for us to be a little bit more in our own skin, feeling more comfortable about what we're doing, and shining,
more empowered.
Exactly, more empowered.
And then what about Barbara? Are things still a little strained there?
Barbara's not on the show.
No, I know, but you were friends with her. Are you still friends with her?
Well, when somebody comes to a show that's so successful, like my cabaret show, and listen, do I pretend to be Adele? No, I don't. But girlfriend, I can carry a tune. So hell with Barbara.
So that's.
Like your friends say to you that have been to my show.
Yep.
Right?
Love it.
Love it, right?
Love it.
So listen, if I didn't have talent, I wouldn't be on a successful cabaret tour, across the country with Live Nation. So I just feel like that's the second time also that she got caught
Got it.
on camera
So
talking smack about me. So, that's a problem.
We call that pulling the weeds out of our garden.
That's
Luann.
right. You have to pull the weeds so you can make room for the flowers.
That's right. And you are growing, I must say. I'm loving watching your journey. Let me
Thank
plug
you.
your stuff again. Countess Luann is here. She's promoting her cabaret show, Countess and Friends, the cabaret shows. Here's some dates for you guys. So if you hear your city, you can go, oh my God. November 8th, Madison, Wisconsin. November 9th, Prior Lake, Minnesota, I guess that is. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Huntington, New York. Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll read these again later before you go.
Thank you, sweetheart. I am so excited. I haven't been to Tulsa. Have you?
I probably have, but I think I remember doing my comedy show there when I had a comedy troupe, and it was an amazing audience.
Would you ever come on and do comedy on my show?
I mean, I don't do. I just hosted it. I didn't do stand up.
Do you stand up? Oh,
No,
because you're just so.
no.
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
knock,
I thought you
knock.
could be. You're so funny. You could do stand up.
I like hosting. So I basically
Well, you are
curated.
a great hostess.
Thanks,
That's why you got a
Countess
radio
Luann.
show, darling.
Thank you. Have you given your 12-season tagline yet?
No.
Do you get to make yours up, or do they offer you? I heard.
You
that
know
they
what?
offer you some.
We kind of do it together. Because we don't. We're shooting the season, and we don't really know how it's being edited and kind of put together because we're not part of that process. So it's really it's a joint effort because they know way more about what's going on with the
You're
season
right.
than I do. I mean, I know what I say and do, but how it's edited and put together as a television show is a totally
You know who
different thing.
always wins, though? The internet. The internet has such great ideas. I feel like you can throw it out there to your fans and be like, send me some taglines because you'd be amazed at what comes back.
No, that's true.
You know
That's
what I
true.
mean?
That's a good tip.
The
I'm going to use
whole
that.
pool of your fans that want to be,
Yeah.
empowered also.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
pick Luann's tagline.
Okay, I'm going to come up with some and throw it out there, and we're going to pick the best.
Did you see the and I think you posted on Instagram, so I'm sure you liked it, but the play that Andy did, the reenactments.
Yeah, with Bridget Everett and all the SNL
So
girls.
fun.
Yeah.
Do you have fun listening to it?
Oh my God, so much fun. I love it. Well, we're at the beach, so there's sand
I
on the
loved
beach.
it. I loved it. I got to play you in some of those.
You did?
I did. And
What?
Andy asked me to do this one, but I was doing Masked Singer, and I was like, fuck, I make such a
Oh
good
my
Luann.
God, I would love to see. I want to see the one that you did. Where did you do the
It
one?
wasn't in person. It was for Radio Andy.
Oh, okay.
So it was just on air.
Oh, damn.
I know.
missed that.
I'm like, the only one I want to play is the only one I really love.
Oh.
I want to ask, you said Dorinda you're okay with now?
Yes,
Is she-
Dorinda and I are in a good place. She, we're all kind of, well, most of us are single, and Dorinda, I think, is single, as you know.
I was going to ask her to get something dry
Yeah.
cleaned for me that I need really
Oh,
badly.
damn. Well, you're too late.
Fuck.
She broke up with the Madam Paulette
I
guy.
know. The time I can't get a stain out of
Your
a dress.
timing, damn. I know. Nobody gets a stain out of a dress like this guy, though. I gotta tell you.
true?
It's true. Madam
right.
Paulette's the best.
All right, so I still have to go there and
Yes.
do
Yeah.
it. Was that? I have to go back to certain
I'm sure
episodes.
John will be very happy to see you.
I'm going to send my assistant. I don't want to deal with him. He's so gross. I didn't want to deal with him.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, get this fucking body makeup out. I want to go back to some of my favorite moments that I wrote down for you when you came back in.
Yeah.
The fish room. Was it really that bad in the Berkshires?
Oh my God! Do you know the fish room is?
It was so fun to watch.
It's just,
by the
it's
way.
like, I know, right? It's like the last room. Do you know what I mean? It's like the
Yes.
fish room goes to the last person in line, and I just feel like, wait, I shouldn't be last on the totem pole.
No.
Why should I always be last on the totem pole? And don't you love the fact that nobody else wanted to stay in the fish room? And I get all the shit for having to stay in the shit room. That gets overlooked completely. You know what I mean? It's like they're like, oh no, we don't want to stay in the river. And if I say I don't want to be in the fish room, it's like all hell breaks
All
loose.
hell
You
breaks
know?
loose. Dorinda seems like it pissed her off more than anybody else that you had a problem with.
I
it.
know, right?
Where does that come from?
Well, I think that we had been through such a rough time before that, and that she just felt I wasn't grateful to be in Blue Stone Manor. It wasn't about that. It was like, I don't want to be last on the totem pole,
Right. And that room is like, I crack up.
It's a boys' room.
The Berkshires, like, it's a beautiful place. And then you go you see that fisherman, you're like, what the
They're
fuck?
freaking teeth. I mean, they are teeth like staring at you. There are,
hell.
Exactly. It's like, oh my God, it's scary. You wake up in the morning to these sharks' teeth. It's like,
I think Ramona, who broke her house, needs to stay in that room.
That's right. I love you for remembering
that's
that.
what I
Ramona
would've
ripped
said.
the paint off the wall. She should be in the fish room.
Ramona was off the rails last season, by the way, getting busted, like lying about table jumping. She didn't want Sonya at the party, the whole thing with Dorinda.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, which one made you cringe the most where you're like, oh my God?
I think where she got called out for not inviting Sonya to her birthday party. That was the best. That was the best.
I'm glad you could enjoy it as much as the viewer.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Probably even more so.
Because I wasn't there, so I watched it and was like, oh, you see what's happening when I'm filming somewhere, down the block?
Totally.
This is what's going on.
Do you guys have text chains together?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, I would give anything to
yeah, the text chain.
I would give any.
Oh,
you guys can auction that off for 1 month. Just have a person just join your text chain. I mean, what did it look like when you heard the Bethenny news? What was everyone's like? It must have been blowing up.
Well, it blew up because it's like nobody knew. It's like, thank you so much for letting us know before you let the press know. It would have been nice.
Don't you think it should have been appropriate for her to give you guys a call to say, hey, we've been doing this a long time. I'm going to move on.
Yeah, as appropriate as it would have been for her to say, look, your fiance is kissing somebody at a bar. I'm going to tell you first before I tell everybody else and show it to people on national television.
Well said.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell Bravo either, right? Everything came out on Instagram.
Bravo didn't know. Everything came out on Instagram. Hell of a way to leave a show that's been so good to her. Because let me tell you, when she tanked in her talk show, she came back with her tail between her legs to Housewives.
And you guys all had to stand next to a fucking skinny bottle in every scene.
That's right.
So they should be really grateful.
Right?
Oh,
absolutely.
my God. You don't have to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. God, if I had a dime for every skinny girl party I had to promote.
Shit, right? I'm like,
and then she can't even promote my cabaret show and be happy about it.
That's where I think the audience was on your side.
Yeah,
They're like,
of course.
Come on, you're on a ski lift holding on to your snow bunny outfit that's got skinny girl all over it, and you can't help,
Right, exactly.
Luann
You
promote
can't.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think though? There's a tiny little chance of her wanting to come back when her other shit goes down.
Well,
Not that I wish anyone that, but I'm just saying.
You wouldn't wish that on us, would you?
I wish that on
promote.
anyone.
Wait. So we go. Wait, this is insider scoop. We go to a fashion show, right? And there is a place set for Bethenny Frankel at this fashion show while we're filming, and Ramona freaked out. She's like, "Is she coming? Is she coming? Oh no, she's not coming. Is she?" I'm like, Ramona, calm down. It's a mistake. It's just a mistake. Relax. Don't pull your blonde hair out. I mean,
why would she get so upset?
Because she's just scared of her. She's terrified of Bethenny.
She is still? She's still terrified.
She was terrified. Oh, Ramona would tell you herself. She's scared of Bethenny. Most people are.
But I find it interesting that she would be scared to come to see her, even though she's off the show.
No, she was terrified that she might come and actually be on the show, sitting in that seat. Are they pulling a fast one on us?
Like Bethany's coming back on the series.
Oh my God,
kind of
or that she's just that she's gonna be here. Yeah.
Oh my God, can you imagine? I can't imagine, actually. I can see a future where shit doesn't work out for her and she does wind up coming back.
For me, it was never that kind of fear with Bethenny. It was like, bring it, girlfriend. And like she did in the Berkshires. She ripped me a new one and I looked at her and I went, really, girlfriend, you need to get laid. Remember that line?
I do.
I mean, what am I, the Kim Cattrall of the family? Calling me, fucking everybody in New York?
That's Ramona, remember? Did you see that post?
Oh, I did. I just saw that where you do the side by side. I was Sandra Bullock
totally.
and she's.
I was like, oh my God, Ramona reposted it. I was like, she is hilarious. But I do love the way you stood up to Bethenny in this last season, though, because it showed, you know why? It showed Bethenny's true colors.
Yes, it did. It showed my strength of character. Listen, I could have left. I could have went out partying. What did I do? I got, walked back in and said, listen, what's going on with you? I mean, what, this is much more than just me, to provoke that kind of reaction, there was a lot going on in there, and it wasn't really about me.
No, I love that.
I didn't take it personally.
That's the growth you've had.
Yes.
Because when you can look at someone screaming at you and
Yeah.
know immediately the problem is never the problem.
Poor girl.
Poor girl.
That's how I felt. Poor
Yeah.
thing. Look at her. I'm in a good place. She is certainly
Right.
not.
And you know what? I learned a lot watching you. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I'm going to remember this the next time someone rages on me and say, like, oh, this is how you really feel.
Yeah.
Instead of going, because I come from the south side of Chicago, where I feel like I would have been fired from the show by now because I physically fight.
Right.
Not that I have since college, but that show
We need you on the Housewives, girl.
would make me. I would have beat the shit out of Bethenny so many
No,
times.
but you know what? If I had done that, if I had reproached her, it would have just become so much worse. Do you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Instead, I let her vent. And then, of course, at the end of the scene, she comes to me and she gives me a hug. And it was like, I don't know what just happened, but and like I said, she was like purging, and I didn't take it personally because I know it wasn't about me. It was about her own, problems, issues, lots of them.
Lots of them. I mean, I got to watch your spiritual growth throughout this whole show. I mean, I watched your life story. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
I mean, you've gone through.
Been through a lot.
So much. I mean, I thought about the risk taking you've taken from growing up in Connecticut, then taking the leap of going to Europe, and you're in Italy doing these shows, and then you go to is it the Swiss Alps? I forget.
I go to the Swiss Alps,
and then you're there, and you have babies, and then
I married the Count. I mean, I had no idea what a count was. I was like, is that like Count Dracula? 1, 2, 3. How does he do?
And then you pick everything up and you come back here and you you figure out how to get back on TV. You're hosting like a PBS Housewives show.
I started with CBS doing the Countess Report, doing these little segments, and then the Housewives kind of came to me. So, I reinvented myself. I think really life is about reinvention and keeping it moving. If that doesn't work, then you move on to something else, and
because if you look at
and have no fear.
If you stand back and look at your own life, like if like this is your life, Luann.
Yeah.
I mean, most people are stuck in one job their whole lives. They're afraid to take a risk.
Right.
They're, listening to this interview going, I'm afraid to go and just get Starbucks out of my house today. Like, what drove you? What gives you that ability to take such risks and say, I'm going to apply action to my life. I'm going to do it.
I feel like, if you don't try, you never know. Like, I thought, it's scary to go to Europe. I don't know anyone. I don't speak any languages, etc. And I said to myself, if it doesn't work, I can always go home. So I feel like people need to take risks and chances because they can always go back to Starbucks or go back to their job or whatever it is that they're doing. And I would say that to my, fans who ask me, they're inspired by, the life I created for myself. And it's all about taking chances and knowing that you can always go home. And, that's what builds character. Get out there and learn something new. Speak another language. I speak Italian and French, which most people don't know. And I would have never gotten those opportunities if I hadn't gone to Europe and opened up another door. Because there's such a big world out there. And when I first went to Europe, I was like, oh my God, nobody told me about this fantastic place. And I was so inspired by how their lifestyle and how well they dressed and how well they lived, and just their cappuccino that you get at a gas station is good, and the panino,
It's so
the panini. It's like, are you kidding me? This life is amazing.
I love it because those risks. It really inspired me when I was reflecting on you, going, God, she really has such big balls to be able to take those risks, And I love that because I feel like I've done that myself to some extent.
Yeah, you have totally.
And it is, you have to be comfortable with looking like stupid or failing sometimes.
Yeah, like I say, fake it till you make it, and do
you think maybe Bethenny was a little jealous of that, of your risk taking, of willing to go outside the box and try new?
I think that I had when Bethenny came on the show, she was trying to sell her baked goods and and trying to be successful. I met Bethenny the first time, and she was serving at a lunch of a German friend of mine in Southampton.
Wow.
And she was pissed off, the hostess, because Bethenny came in a very low cut blouse to do lunch in her kitchen with about 60 very elegant people from Europe. And she said to me, never again. She's been like, hooching next to my hubby all day. Never going to happen.
God, yeah, no.
So, listen, I'm all for
That's
people
a different kind
that
of risk taking, though, Luann.
That's a different kind of risk taking. Yeah, she could have got slaughtered, but it worked out for her, and I'm glad for her.
Yeah.
And people that take chances, that try, that get out there
I
and
give her
work
tons of credit
hard.
for what she's done.
I give her tons of credit. She made it. She made it.
But now there's this next chapter going on,
Mm-hmm.
and your chapter is taking off. And I think in front of her, it was, I don't know if it was maybe a little bit of jealousy.
Well, I'm so glad that you bring it up and not me, because better that somebody else says it, not me.
It does look like that. Now,
Yeah.
let me plug your stuff again. I'd love seeing you. I'm so happy. How are your kids doing, by the way?
Oh, my kids are great. Noel is painting. He's become, Mr. Little Picasso. He lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
And he's, fulfilling his dream of painting, and he's selling paintings, and he's doing really well.
Where can you find the paintings?
Noel de Lesseps on Instagram, and Victoria's, doing her art as well.
I
She
remember-
worked for Nicole Miller for a
Yeah.
bit, designing some of her fabrics, and
Good for them.
yeah. So she's doing really great. She's doing her art, and she's writing, and they're artists. So they're not cookie cutter kids, as you know, because I think
Yes,
your son is
of
very
course.
much like that, right?
Exactly.
And how is he doing?
He's doing amazing. He's
Our
17.
kids went to school for a hot minute together, which a lot of people don't know.
I
Yeah.
know they did for a hot minute, and then I moved him back to the Midwest so he
Yeah.
can be around some corn husky children.
Yeah,
But he's doing
you're-
good. Thank you for
Good,
asking. I mean,
good.
your life is you've got to. This is a moment where I go, okay, listening to you, gratitude. right?
Gratitude. I am
Gratitude.
so thankful, that this, couple years of hell has, taught me so much, and has made me, realize and brought me to what I really want to be doing, which is to be doing my cabaret shows and being on stage. And, I used to work for Italian television, so I was always a showgirl, and it's
Right.
always been part of who I am. And I love singing, and I've got my dance music. And so this is just a perfect little bubble that I put it all
Yes.
into, that's been, so
However, you're doing it. You're doing
saving me, really. Getting on stage is everything. And, everybody's like, oh, it's too much stress, and you shouldn't be doing that, and with the people drinking around and whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm working, and I'm
You're like, it's
living
my
dream.
therapy.
It's my therapy. Exactly. I love it.
You said
my
it-
creative juices. I love it.
And I get it. You talked a little bit, and my last question is about how much you learned. What did you learn about love through all this?
I mean,
For all these people listening that have suffered their own heartache, what did you learn about love?
you know what? Loving yourself is where it all starts, and getting back to, just being grateful every day you wake up that you're alive, and that you're, walking around the planet. And I'm just grateful that I have another chance,
Yeah.
and believe me, whatever you've been through, you got to get back to loving yourself, and then the love comes from all around you, and it's pretty amazing.
Isn't it? One of my
Yeah.
favorite gurus says it's not your job to love me, it's mine.
Yeah.
And when you really
true.
realize that and find that, then it's amazing how many of these amazing people come into your life.
Yeah, exactly. You draw that energy and that
Higher
love
vibration.
from people if you're good with yourself, and I talk about this in my book, which I wrote ages ago, but being comfortable with who you are is the epitome of elegance and class. And I think people are drawn
True.
to people that are just comfortable in their own skin.
That's it.
I know I am.
Me too.
Yeah.
You can see authenticity too,
Yes.
and feel it. I should
You can
say.
feel it, exactly.
Are you still? This is too soon to say, but I just want to know: are you open to the possibility of marriage ever again?
You know what? I never say never. I'm a
Good.
hopeless romantic,
Yes,
and
you
3
are.
times the charm. I've been done twice now, so
That's why I love you.
but I'm in no hurry.
I know, no hurry, but I want to know if you were
Yeah.
still open, and you are. I'm like, she's
Yeah,
such a
of course.
romantic. Of
I
course,
am.
there is open.
I love love.
I love
and
it.
Like I said, take a chance.
Take a chance.
Take a
Countess
chance.
Friends cabaret shows. Dates and tickets at CountessLuann.com. You guys, Tulsa, Huntington, Atlantic City, Richfield, Prior Lake, Madison. Check it out. Get tickets. It's an amazing show. I love you. Congratulations on everything. Come back.
Thank you, Jenny. I love you too. It's so good to see
You too. We'll be right back. Yay.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!